lovely family. Today we are going to make Wrewre wine. Hey, if you've not had Wrewre wine before, then today you're hearing about it too. And we're going to do it with rice balls. This is how to get your rice balls perfecto. Yeah, so Wrewre is a great substitute for groundnut. Let me tell you the truth. If you eat good Wrewre soup, you even realize you're not eating groundnut soup. So for those with peanut allergies, this is your go-to option when you feel like eating some groundnut. And those who feel you can't use long grain rice or perfumed rice for your rice balls, now lie you, I'm going to teach you how to get the perfect rice ball recipe with your long grain rice. So this is how your Wrewre is. The English name is the Muskmelon seeds or the wild melon seeds. Yeah. So it's actually good when it comes to giving you stronger bones and controlling your blood pressure. And I'm going to use my smoked Guinea Fowl. I'm going to use some beef, a bit of turkey berry, pepper, garlic, ginger, tomato, some onion, then a bit of tomato paste or mix, my curly pepper sauce, and some salt to taste. So I start off by roasting the Wrewre. Now, if you don't roast your Wrewre, you're not going to get a good taste, sweetheart. Your Wrewre, you need to make sure that you roast it. Now, this is how the Guinea fowls come from the north. It's a bit soft for me because I froze it. So what I'm doing is to cut off the legs, cut off the head. Then I'm just going to divide it. Because it froze and is now thawed, it's a bit soft. But yours may be a bit tougher if it's very fresh. It's not gone into the freezer yet. So I'm just going to divide it into small chunks, the sizes I would want. And yeah, that's how your Guinea fowl looks like when it's roasted around here in Ghana. So yeah, as you're doing that, make sure that you are turning or stirring your Wrewre. You don't want it to get burnt. So you need to make sure you roast this perfectly and so well. And yeah, cut off the part you think you don't want. If you don't like the legs and the scary part, you can take it off, sweetheart, and get by force. So if you want the head in there too, sweetheart, you can use it. But I didn't use the head. I didn't use the feet in there. So yeah, I'm just going to roast my Wrewre. That's the first thing to do. Now it looks brownish, but then as you're roasting, you're going to smell it more. You're going to realize that at a point it may do tete. If you don't hear the tete, don't worry. So far as it's changing color and it's looking more brown, that means that it is done. But you need to be careful not to overly do it and get it bent. Yes, if you follow your ancestors to know when to stop, you end up overly doing it. So once that is done, you're just going to blend it up. You're just going to mill it up. So I start with my Guinea fowls going in there. So yeah, I arranged my Guinea fowls beautifully in there. And I'm going to add a little bit of water. I told you this was frozen. Then I'm going to add in my green curly pepper sauce, which I've taught on this channel is healthy. I use this because it's handy for me and because this is already smoked. So I need a bit of pepper in there to kick it up. If I use a fresh onion, ginger, garlic, it's still going to work. But I have it all in my cauliflower pepper sauce as well. I can equally use my regular pepper sauce, which saves me time. So I'm just going to dump all my veggies onto it. I'm just creating spaces at where it's necessary because some of them can easily get missing, like my turkey berries. Yes, so I'm just going to put all of them in, add in some water, and allow it to come to boil. So once that comes to boil, I'm going to pour in the Wrewre base into it. Then I add in all the cooked veggies to blend with it. That's one way to make sure that when you sieve it, everything goes in smooth. If not, you have to mix your Wrewre, come and sieve it in. I see it as work. So to make my labor less and my rewards more, once I'm done milling, I just put in the blender, I add my cooked veggies to it, I add my water, then I blend everything all together. And that comes out beautifully, beautifully, beautifully. Then I just use my colander, my songy, the song do fair. So once that is also sieved in, see, it's already looking like groundnut paste. So you just want to sieve it beautifully in. You can add in more water just to get everything out. The thickness is up to you. The thickness is seriously up to you. If you want it very thick, use less water. If you want it a bit lighter, you can add in more water. It depends. Some like their Wrewre soup very thick, some like it very light. Some say if you use tin tomato, it's going to be runny, but then I used tin tomato, it wasn't really runny. And I usually use tin tomato in there as well. Then I add my salt to taste. So I think the thickness is mostly up to you and the water content you're going to use in there. So this one no long thing because this is way simple, way easy to do. And so there's your Wrewre quine with a twist. So as our Wrewre is coming to boil, you see I didn't cover it fully because potentially it's going to, bubble up. So it's going to start forming. See the oil coming up. Yeah, you see now it's fully cooking. So as that one is ongoing, don't mind the foam. It's going to settle and turn into oil later. But your Wrewre quine doesn't have oil like your groundnut soup, unless you're using fresh chicken where the chicken is going to generate fat and oil onto it. But then Wrewre itself, you won't really get oil from it. So that's one thing about Wrewre quine if you're new to it. Because I'm using the Guinea Fowl, you're not going to get it the same like that. So this is my rice. So I'm going to use a broken rice in this video. I'll teach you how to do it with the long grain later. But then basically using the long grain is just like doing rice water. And I told you for your rice, you'd always have to pre-soak it, wash and pre-soak. So if you're using long grain, you can do the same thing. It's going to also work. But then make sure that you let it sit for a little while. Make sure you rinse it well. And then you introduce it in here. The thing is, with a short grain, it tends to have more carbs and so more starch. And so when you cook it, it forms beautifully together. And that's one reason why a lot of us use the short grain when we are cooking our rice balls. So you introduce it in with a lot of water and your salt to taste. Make sure you don't cover your pan fully. If you cover it fully, you're going to have a tough time. So what to know is that your rice shouldn't be too hard. And if you're going to get your rice to form beautifully, what you need to do is to make sure that you pre-soak it. If you pre-soak your rice even for 10 minutes, it's going to come out with final results. And so as your Wrewre quine is cooking beautifully, you can do your rice balls by the side. And yeah, for rice balls, if you're taking like a pot of rice, you should be taking like 3 parts of water. And for your rice ball, make sure that once your water goes in, your rice goes in as well, because you want the rice to soften. So as the water is heating up, the rice is equally softening up as well. So that's one thing to get beautiful rice results. And then once that's done, you can just, apply some force and knead it up, that thing. So I'm going to create beautiful balls with it. And my plate, I'm just going to foil it up. If you want to get some nice looking rice balls, this is how to sheen break. So yeah, you realize I covered it up a bit. That's to let the heat go into it. It also adds in more points to your food. You know that thing. I'm teaching you how to get more points in here. Don't mind me, I'm just kidding. But then it's good to cover it up and then rest your hand a bit and let more heat go in. It's heat that you need. It's not really about the pressure or energy you put on in there. Then you could just cook and just package it. So yeah, don't mind. I was using my wooden ladle. I didn't find my that, but I usually use the wooden ladle when I'm using a small quantity and I'm doing it over the stove. So see how beautiful that comes. Very simple and easy to do. And I told you, if you want to generate a little bit of oil, just do it over low heat. And that's our beautiful rice bowl with our beautiful Guinea Fowl Wrewre nkwan. So what are you eating this week? Amazon, is mizo now say. So till I see you in the next food video, do live life to the fullest, be merry, be joyous. Make sure I see you in the next food video. So then, lots of love from my team and I. Mwah.